Yo, what's going on? What's going down, people? It's your boy. I'm back again, like I never left after 2 weeks being absent. I was stricken down by a mad flu, people. Crazy flu, like bedbound business had me down. But enough of that. I'm back, and of course, I've been watching the games. I've been able to do any pre-match videos for the Nottingham Forest game, and of course for the Palace game. But I'm good, healthy enough, well enough to start doing videos again. And of course, this is going to be my post-match sort of quick review with player ratings as well. I'm just going to try to whack it all in one video. But yeah, here we are, people. A hard-fought, a gritty, scritty, just sluggish, muggish 1-0, 1-0. 1-0 to the Arsenal FC. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, please, people. Keep showing love. Thank you for those that have. And yeah, man, where do we start? Listen, I say all of that to say this. I think it was a good performance. I think we rid our luck one or two times. We controlled the game in phases. Arsenal is still in a phase where they're controlling the game in phases. A lot of the times you just kind of, you're watching the game and you realize that they've kind of lost control of the game and, lost that momentum. It happened in the game against Palace. Tough place to go. Palace is not, they're not no easy sort of prem side to sort of sweep past. They're an established Premier League team and a very good old school manager in Roy Hodgson. And they've got some really young, athletic, driven players. They've lost Zaha, which is a big loss in my opinion. I'm sure Palace fans would agree. But yeah, so considering all of that, it was okay. And we went one man down in terms of it was 10 man for 20 minutes, which was like it was backs against the wall. I did believe that we could have played better in when in that sort of phase, and we kind of allowed Palace to grab hold of the game too much, even though we was one man down. Arsenal has the capability to be able to play better even with one man down, especially against a sort of more inferior team such as Palace. No disrespect to them. But yeah, man, listen, we controlled possession. We had more shots than them, off target, on target. We had 53% possession as opposed to their 47. We had 3 shots on target. And we won via a penalty, which was a well sort of constructed penalty, some good slick passes in moments and in phases. Odegaard, before that penalty, he had never taken a penalty for Arsenal, so very good, very well placed penalty for him. And I think it's good to have a variation of spot kick takers, because a lot of the times, you want the player that's taking the penalties to kind of just be eased off pressure, or just be eased off feeling that like, right, it's not me, and I can kind of do my thing again and feel a bit more at ease. It's good to take that pressure a little bit off Saka and for Odegaard to take it. My man of the match, before I even go into anything, any player rates or anything like that, is 100% by without a failure of a doubt, William Saliba. Even though Declan Rice is also right up there. I think he was given man of the match officially, but for me, it was William Saliba. He's just a giant in defense. He does some extraordinary type of defending. He's a defender's defender. He's primarily first and foremost about defending, and then everything else comes after. But the things that do come after, they're really good. He knows how to do a high ball, short pass, long pass. He can get into tricky sort of midfield areas where he can kind of see a threaded pass and play that threaded pass, which is good to see. But yeah, overall, I think we're not quite there yet in terms of fluid football. Arteta ball, some of the fluency that we saw last season. However, we're definitely starting to find our feet in this system with the new players. Such a shame that Urian Timber is gone off injured. Jeez, man. If we had Urian Timber, we got good deputies for that position, left back. Tomayasu, we got Zinchenko, we got Tini, who can't even make the squad at this moment in time. But if we had Yuri Timber, moving forward, in these next games, I think we got, who do we have next? Um, I don't want to say we got easy games, but they're winnable games until we get right up to Manchester United. And it's kind of like, rah, like if we had the full spectrum of the squad, including Timber and Jesus, then it would have been incredible to see, them having a run of 5-6 games as the first initial starting 11. But we've got injuries. We've got injuries to Jesus, and we've got injuries to, of course, Yuri Timber. But look, Tomiyasu's come in. He's obviously Mikel Arteta that has chosen Tomiyasu to start in this game against Villa away from home. And Tomiyasu did well. I think he done really well. It was a back four, which kind of went into a back three, still doing the party, starting in on the right hand side and then shifting into midfield. I'll be honest and I'll be real. I don't like seeing it. I don't enjoy it. I think sometimes you see him in weird places where he doesn't look comfortable. I think Mikel needs to stop experimenting with Party there. You just need to be able to just get Ben White there and get Party somehow in the midfield with Rice. But if he's gonna do what he's play as he's playing up to this point against Forest and against Crystal Palace, then you kind of have to see a nice little run to kind of say to yourself, all right, cool, this is definitely not going to work, and it isn't working. Enough is enough. If not, it wasn't too bad. I just don't think Party looks as comfortable, But yeah, look, the game in itself, it wasn't the most exciting game. It was a very challenging game in terms of physical. At times the game was getting a bit feisty. I don't know what it is, but Arsenal games always get feisty. It looks like the opposing team are taking things personal, and then Arsenal take it personal. And the boos for Party, whenever he got hold of the ball, these are the type of things, obviously we know what those boos are for and what they relate to, but type of things I don't enjoy seeing on the pitch. And I think to an extent that kind of spurred Arsenal on to say, we're leaving here with a W, we're leaving here with a win. And that's the only way to shut these people up and answer the critics and all of these things that they say. It's just by winning, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets, and that's what we've done. Player ratings, I'm going to quickly go into it. I'm not going to waste too much time as we go through. So Ramsdale in goal, I knew he was always going to start Ramsdale. Raya's not going to just come in and start Prem games. He will potentially playing for Champions League games. He'll play him for potentially FA Cup and all of that jazz. He will play him for those other competitions. But I think the Premier League is nailed on for Aaron Ramsdale. And I think Mikel's just said to Ramsdale, look, you're going to start the Prem games. Don't even worry about the Premier League, at least for this season. There will be competition and the best keeper will get the number one spot eventually. But as things stand, you don't need to worry so much in terms of that particular situation, that particular position for the Prem. So yeah, Ramsdale, look, clean sheet, some good saves here and there. Looked a bit more composed. Was kicking the ball out much quicker than what you normally see him. At times, still looking a bit scary in the sense that he does take like an extra second or two that he doesn't really need to. But all in all, I think it was a solid performance. I think he didn't really have too much to do. There were moments where Crystal Palace looked like they were threatening, but in terms of chances and stuff like that, there wasn't anything like that. So Ramsdale for me gets an 8 because clean sheet. And now he's under pressure, and I think he played well. It was, of course, a back four of parties. Ben White, Saliba, Tomiyasu. Party for me, moving into the midfield. I think he was, he's just the connector. He's just the one that connects all the strings in everything he does. And I just love the way he plays football. I love his technical prowess. I love just the way how he manages the football, and he sprays his passes. For me, he gets an 8 as well. Ben White, I think he was all right. I think he was, Ben White is Ben White. He looks technically sound, solid, defended really well. Like, that defense, for those 20 last minutes, they had to really show their grit and their determination, their dedication, their discipline to getting that win, to getting that, taking those 3 points home. For me, he gets an 8 as well. Saliba gets a 9. I mean, it goes without saying. Last ditch tackles, pace, presence, everything you want to see in a central defender, and he's got it, and he's got all the attributes that you want in an elite defender, and he's only 21, 22. Unbelievable. He gets a 9 for me. He is my man of the match. Tomiyasu got sent off 2 yellows, very unjustified 2 yellows. The ref, these refs just get worse and worse. I'm not even going to waste time on the refs. I think for me, he gets a 7. Of course, he would have got an 8 and stuff like that, but the fact that he got sent off, and they were harsh, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to say to yourself, all right, cool, you need to be more conscious that once you're on a yellow, you can't really be doing any bookie maneuvers that will make the ref make a decision. So he gets a 7. Moving on to the midfield, Odegaard, Rice, Havertz. Odegaard for me, Odegaard trying to do what he does. I think he was better in this game against Palace, of course, scoring the winning penalty. He was better against Palace than he was Nottingham Forest. For me, he gets an 8 as well. Yeah, connected the dots a little bit more. In the first 10-15 minutes, it was a bit strange. I think he was playing a bit too high up, and I wanted him to come a bit deeper. I was watching the game, kind of saying to myself, I want him to come a bit deeper. Like, why is he so high up? He was almost like he was literally pairing, playing behind Nketiah. But yeah, overall, winning the penalty, scoring the penalty, and seeing out the game with the W. He gets a 8. Declan Rice, he gets a 9. Even though my man of the match is Saliba, Declan Rice gets a 9. Declan Rice, I mean, he's looking like the midfield equivalent to William Saliba. Somebody with presence, somebody with stature, somebody who can do long passes, short passes, spray it, switch it. All we need is a goal from him now. All we need is that debut goal, that first goal from Dex, and it's going to be a party. Havertz, I mean, look, Kai Havertz, he came close here and there, 1-2 shot here and there. And Kai Havertz, for me, at the moment, it looks like confidence, but he is very surely, slowly starting to integrate into the team. He looks like he's starting to understand his teammates better. He looks like he's starting to kind of settle down gradually. At the moment, still nothing special from him. I'm watching again. I'm literally saying to myself, to him, to the screen, like, Havertz, just show us something. You get the ball, you pass. You make a run, you get into a great position, and that's all we get from you. You haven't won one header of any cross or any ball that's gone into the box. You're one of the tallest players on the pitch. It's not. Do you know what I mean? You're a new signing. You need to excite the fans a little bit more, my guy. You no homo, like, not like, you need to. Do you know what I mean? You need to excite the man then with some football, with some trickery, with a power shot, with something. 6, man. I think it was a bit. I think it was good, but it wasn't. Let me give him a 7. Let me not be bad, man. And let me give Havertz a 7. We'll stick it. We'll stick to a 7, and we'll keep it there. I think ultimately, I want him to have a nice little run of 10 games, and I think that's what Mikel is doing as well. Let me give this young boy a run of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. See what we get from him in those 8, 9 games. See how much he's learning within those 8, 9 games, and then if we got to make changes, then we'll make changes. We'll bring in Smith Rowe or whoever. So moving to the front three, Saka and Nketiah, Martinelli. Saka, for me, not the most exhilarating game that you've seen from Bukayo, but he was very active, very involved, trying to do things, trying to take on his man, couple shots here and there. It's not easy against Crystal Palace's fullbacks. Crystal Palace, they've got some good fullbacks, Ward and Mitchell. Mitchell had him, close sort of, contact, and he was there, pressing. It wasn't easy for Bukayo Saka, but overall, I don't think he did too bad, and I think he played well, just not amazing. So for me, he would get a 7. Bukayo Saka. Nketiah should have scored that lob. Like, look how high that was. Like, he's got, Nketiah, yeah, he's a very good footballer, but he's a good finisher, and he will thrive in the right club. I just don't think he's at the Arsenal consistency level type of. Do you get it? It's not. But man likes the way he plays. But you see, like that lob there, all he had to do is just go on his left, shift his body, drop his shoulder, and tuck it in. The whole left side of the goal is there. Don't you're wearing a number 14 shirt? You should be inspired by what number 14 our heroic number 14 player would do. Like, do you know what I mean? In that position, within that, you did everything fantastically well. Got into the position. You saw the fantastic free ball by Declan Rice, I think it was. And then you go and try to lob the keeper, and then the lob is just upset. Like, bro, calm down, composure, Eddie. But it wasn't a terrible game. He worked extraordinarily hard, tremendous work ethic. So for that, I give him an 8. But yeah, man. Martinelli, listen, man, so upset when he came off, and I think he was he was the sacrificial lamb because of Tomiyasu sending off. But I think he's getting slowly back to his scintillating electric best, Martinelli. Once he has a clean one-on-one with a fullback, or once he kind of cuts into the middle, it's danger there. And he was such a threat. When we came off, I was thinking to myself, we're gonna lose our threat, even though we didn't. And you could see how upset he was, because I think he was looking like he was cooking. Martinelli he was looking like he was cooking, and he was looking like he wanted to continue cooking. And then he gets sent off. Sorry, he gets substituted. For me, he gets an 8 as well. Martinelli gets an 8. Who came on? People that came on were the likes of Jorginho, Gabriel, Kivio, Zinchenko. I'll just give all of them in their average 6s. We won the game, clean sheet, a tough fixture. Very upset not to see Smith Rowe get some minutes. Very upset not to see Trossard get some minutes as well. Very upset to really not see him come on and apply and do the things and continue move on from what he was doing at preseason. Like, why do you get these players playing in preseason and working towards a cooking, and then you just bench them? Like, it's just mad. Like, do you know what I mean? I just don't understand. But yeah, man, it is what it is. We move people. Again, look, it's 6 points. Only 2 other teams have done that. Brighton and Man City, of course. We need to keep pace with Man City. And we're at the moment we're doing so. So long may it continue. I think our next game, let me just have a look just to make sure. Bear with me. So Fulham, that's it. Fulham at 3 o'clock. We're playing at home, and in this game, I want to see us, move, like, continue to improve, continue to evolve, play more fluently. We're at home. We're at the carpet. I do want to see people like Trossard, get some minutes in that match. And yeah, man, we move forward. 3 points. I see nothing but 3 points. So we're looking at 9 points in the bag, people. And yeah, it's all about at this very early stage of the season, keeping pace with City. We know that they're not going to try to, give us all of that gap as they did last season. They're going to continue, pressing and applying pressure. They've improved, no matter what people say in terms of Gundogan leaving and Mahrez. They replace with extremely good, solid players like Guavidio and my man that's come from Chelsea as well. So yeah, we just got to continue. We're doing what we can do, and we're not scoring as many goals, but as long as we keep scraping these wins and 1 or 2 sublime games, which will come eventually, we will click. But yeah, man, we're working, we're doing what we're doing, and we're doing all of the right things. A few players need to now get shipped out. A few players need to get sold, need to move on. People like Tavares and so forth, Cedrics and all of these, man. I think we should get one more player in, and I think it should be Kudus. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Maybe deadline day, we might see one or two come in. I don't think we should get a replacement for Urian Timber. Urian Timber will be solid, ready to come back next season. Until this season, we work with Tini and we work with Zinchenko. We've got an attacking option for games that we want to attack, and we don't need to have the extra emphasis on defending. And then we got the games for defense in Kieran Tierney. And if Kieran Tierney doesn't get sold, it's not looking too good. It's looking like he might go. Not being in the squad for the game against Palace is kind of a signal that you are looking at potentially losing Kieran Tierney. But then you can say that for many other players, and they don't end up going, they end up staying. If he doesn't get sold, he won't go on loan or anything like that, so we can utilize him. He'll be part of the squad. Almost 20 minutes to video, people. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I am going to officially be back now, recovered from my flu. That flu had me out, people, man. I was knocked out. Like, I'm talking throat, nose, everything, migraine shooting. I thought I had the new COVID variant. It wasn't the COVID variant. It was just whatever's going around. And yeah, and the heat with the cold, with the rain, yeah, I couldn't do it. But I'm back and I'm better and I'm ready to go again. So I'll see you lot for that pre-match video for the Fulham game. That's going to be on Saturday, 3 o'clock at the Ems. And yeah, man, peace and love, people. Until then, peace.